Damien said, we signed up for all of this, not just half of it. Hey guys, this is Megan from You Go to Be Kidding, and I've tried to make this intro several times, but over the last few days, it's needed to change. So here I am again, trying this intro. This week's video is kind of a bummer. We've had a really rough week on the farm, and so a little bit of tragedy. And like farm life, there's some good and some bad thrown in. So this week, my job is to kind of show you what happened and be realistic about what's going on. This is out of the ordinary to have such hard things going on back to back, but it happens. So we've got a couple of sheep births. We have a goat birth. And unfortunately, we have some losses mixed in there too. So we're gonna share it all this week and go over what happened and talk about maybe what things we should have, could have, would have done better, and what things are just kind of plain bad luck. But thanks for joining us, and let me get into the first birth up was one of our sheep, and she ended up having 2 ewe lambs, and so I have some footage of that. So let me show you our cute little lambs. We have been keeping an eye on our last 2 ewes, and I've been thinking that one was getting awfully close, and so I told the girls we're out here to milk. It is pretty much our first official day back to milking, and I told the girls to come take a peek at the sheep, and we have 2 little bonuses. So let me go show you what we've got. All right, here's Mama. So it looks still kind of unsteady. Hello, sweet Mama. I don't want to stress her out. The sheep are, it looks like she has not passed her placenta yet. So all good, but we do have 2 babies. I saw one trying to nurse already. Oh. So we have 2 babies.
Black on his,
yeah, it does look like it's kind of spotted. Okay, so there's Mama. Now I am going to go take a peek to see whether they are ewes or rams. Let's see if Mama, because they won't be able to run away from me, so why don't you just stay here so we don't stress out Mama. I'm glad it's not cold. Hey Mama, I just want to come see your babies for a sec. They look great. You did such a good job. So she hasn't passed her placenta yet, so they are still quite new, and she's got some work to do on this one, but yeah, you can see some black spotting on that one. How cute. She is a first freshener, so yay for twins. Good job. It's so fun watching these mamas and their sheep. They get up so fast and they walk around. They're faster and a little hardier than the goats are. These guys get up quick and move. So this is 3 out of 4. We do have 1 more ewe who is pregnant. So we had 2 ewe lambs born. Mama did great. She was so attentive. She was paying attention to them. She did awesome as a first time mama. We left her in the field. It wasn't cold. Nothing was going on. That night we did have a storm where it rained a bunch. Again, it wasn't super cold, but I knew that they probably got all wet. We brought them shelter, but sometimes the sheep don't use it. So the next morning, I checked on the lambs. I even thought, hey, I wonder if they're too wet. So I got a towel and kind of dried them off, and they seemed good. They were up, they were lively. And so I didn't really think about it again. And I think that's my big error. I didn't really think about the fact that it never got sunny that day. And it stayed about 55, which the sheep are super hardy. I had sheep born in 23-degree weather. So it never crossed my mind that that was going to be really cold for a wet baby, and that there was no sun, so she didn't dry off. I'm not certain she was still wet, but that is likely part of the problem. So the next morning, she was fine. We saw them again for chores, but we don't have super close eyes on the sheep. They've always done so well without us, and they're just not as close to the barn. So we saw them for chores. Babies were up, we're good. We didn't really think anything of it. And the next morning we came out to milk. So this would have been Saturday morning. They were born Thursday morning. Saturday morning we came out to milk, and we were just checking, and Ellie said, hey Mom, one of them is down. she's alive, but she's not moving at all. So I went and got her. She was alive, but she was just sprawled out as if she wasn't. But we grabbed her and I tried to warm her up. I follow Sandy Brock, the sheep farmer, on Instagram and YouTube, and I love watching her videos. So I've seen her like lamb box. So I did get her in a box and try to warm her up, and I didn't think until later about Sandy will often put, there's River, it's actually her second birthday today. But Sandy will also put the lambs in like an OB glove and then dipped in some hot water. And I thought of that several minutes later. It is possible that if I had done that right away, maybe I could have saved her, because she was alive when we found her. And I have a little bit of footage of her in the box and the girls milking for me while we were trying to take care of her. They did awesome for me. But unfortunately, it just didn't work. So I did take her up to the house, and I did actually try to put her in the water, but I'm pretty confident that she had passed by that point. I didn't want to give up too soon, because when they're so cold like that, they really have very few responses at all. So I tried, I gave it my best shot. But by that time, we had realized that the second lamb was also cold. She was still up and still trying to nurse. And so initially, we didn't think there was anything wrong with that second lamb. But what we did do is Damien and Caleb were trying to get shelter hooked up and trying to get that lamb off of the wet ground. And they were playing with her and holding her, and Caleb put his finger in her mouth, and she felt ice cold in her mouth, which is an indicator that she's super cold. So we brought her up to the house, and unfortunately the first one passed away, and then we were able to work on the second one. Took a temperature on her. She was all the way down at 96. Sheep are supposed to be up near between 100 and 102. So she spent a couple hours in that warming box. It worked perfectly for her. We were able to put a little bit of milk in her tummy, and she did great. We brought her back to her mama, and mama did great. So we kind of thought we were all done with the sheep drama. Unfortunately, that wasn't it. So we came out, let's see, the sister died Saturday morning. We got her all warmed up, got her back Saturday. Well, Sunday morning, now at this point, I was now checking her temperature regularly. So Saturday night, I noticed it was kind of low. So we brought them into the barn. We got them we actually used the dog kennel for the mama and the baby, and got her under a heat lamp and figured that would help. I don't remember if I tried to give her any milk Saturday night or not. I'm not sure I did. I'm not sure when I realized, but by Sunday morning, definitely, I was taking her temperature. She got even colder. And so I got we got her warmed up some, got some milk in her, and I started to realize that I didn't think the mama had any milk. So I had tried to milk her, which is quite the experience on a sheep. But if you can corner her well enough, you can figure it out. So I'm glad I have some goat experience, so I knew what to do. But I got a chance to try to milk her out, and or milk anything out of her. Let's see, is this her? I think, yes, that is her. She has been such an attentive mama, but I just don't think she's making enough milk. So the blessing of all of this is that baby has stayed with her. She has not rejected the baby, but we are and baby is still actively nursing. Ellie was able to get some milk out of her a few days ago, or somewhere in the process, and so we're just supplementing with goat's milk, and hopefully she'll do all right. My biggest concern, which unfortunately we don't really have any way of knowing, my biggest concern is that she did not get enough colostrum. I have no way of knowing whether mom was making enough or not. When I first tried to get some out of her, I got nothing at all. So if this little one didn't get enough colostrum, unfortunately that means at weaning age is when the effects of that, it usually affects their immune system. They end up really weak. They missed out on those antibodies from their mama, and there's no way of knowing that until she's weaned, and then you'll see, unfortunately, she'll probably start to get sick. So we are praying that she did get some. Since mom does have some milk now, I am hopeful that she did have some colostrum. It probably wasn't enough. And that would add to why the babies got so cold in the first place, is if they were unsuccessfully nursing. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword and a vicious cycle. If they get cold, they can't nurse well. If they aren't nursing well, that keeps their body temperature colder. So I'm not sure what exactly happened to the order, but as you can see, she is nursing. Their tail wagging is usually a good indicator that that they're getting something, and we are actively supplementing her. So we're just praying that she goes well. So this is a half sad story, half good story. In the thick of it all. So Saturday morning was our saddest. Sunday we were figuring things out. Meanwhile, Sunday, adding to all of our excitement, Sunday morning when we came down to milk, we were in for a surprise. This is the last remaining ewe who had not given birth. She has a brown ear, so the kids have named her Brown Ear. And she had this little ram lamb. He's quite cute. He actually had a little bit of difficulty coming out. So I have some video of that and her birth as we're trying to milk the goats and take care of everybody. She was trying to give birth. Alrighty, well, in exciting craziness, we've had a really hard day, or hard weekend. This mama here gave birth to twin ewes, and then yesterday morning in the cold, we lost one of them. Just got too cold, and so we brought her and the remaining twin in here. The baby is tucked up under the heat lamp. There she is. And so we put all the sheep in the barn because bringing up just the one mama and the baby would have been very, very difficult. And we came out this morning to milk, and this mama is in labor, pushing right now, pushing out some feed. So I guess we're gonna milk in a minute. You're doing a good job, mama. Whew. Alrighty, so we're down here. The baby goats are up in our John Siskovich tractor. The girls just bottle fed the two that need that, so they're all now yelling and screaming. We're a little late today. We should have been down here a little bit earlier. Did she hit me? Yeah. So all the other sheep are here like, what are we doing? What's happening here? But this one's just in the back corner, and I don't want to get any closer at the moment, so I'm glad it's warm in here. Just not sure how we're gonna milk. We'll probably... Oh yeah, she's sleeping under the heat lamp. She's finally warm. Good. Just keep traction. Back. Gently pull up around the baby's face. Try to go with her pushing. Try to get the head out. Is it really tight?
Yeah, it's really tight.
Okay. Can the legs pull any further forward? Like maybe its shoulders are kind of sort of stuck, or elbows? Each leg individually, can they come further?
Yeah, maybe. Yep.
Okay, yeah, good. So get each leg. There you go. Oh, keep traction. Don't let her get away from you.
I can't, maybe.
Is baby a little further out?
Not really. I'm still alive, though.
Yeah. So we've got to get it up.
She don't want anything to do with me.
I know, but...
That's gross.
How about tell?
Gloves would be better.
What?
Gloves would be
I
better.
have those two.
Mommy, you can't see a thing.
After he was born and here, now I'm totally freaked out because the first mama didn't have any milk, and as we're coming down to the barn to check on the ewe lamb, we're noticing that he's only nursing off of one side, and I'm worried that he's getting cold. So I don't know. It's so hard to tell if the sheep have enough milk. So we have supplemented him a few ounces here and there. Overall, he seems to be doing really well. But she is also a young first-time mom, and so we just weren't sure. We're keeping an eye on him, but he seems to be doing great. It's one of those, I think I'm probably over watching him, but I didn't want to risk something going on. So far, so good. He's several days old, and we're doing all right. But these two are up here in the barn so that they have access to a heat lamp, and the babies can stay warm when they need to. The other sheep are down in the field and doing well, and we're definitely looking to sell some. Our first set of ewe twins and ram twins are getting pretty old. We're looking to get them out of here, and we're probably actually looking to downsize on sheep a little bit. We're really loving the goats, but that's all we have for the sheep. Unfortunately, it's not all we had to deal with this week. So next up is some goat drama. So we've been dealing with our sheep a bunch this week, but it's always fun to have a little baby goat update. So the goats are up here. I'll show you the little guys, and actually we might just get ourselves some more baby goats. So Aspen, one of our yearling does, I think she was officially due yesterday, but that's kind of a guess anyway. There's about a 10-day range that's pretty normal for goats. And so she's right in that. It looks like her udder popped. It is much bigger today than it was yesterday. So we're kind of keeping an eye on her. And I'm out here with the goats, just kind of looking at everybody. But we'll be keeping updated with Aspen today. And I'm going to move all these babies and mamas over to some fresh ground, and I'll show you these cuties as I get to work. What are you up to? They're starting to nibble on the grass, which is so fun. That is Cedar's big buckling. I don't know if you can tell perspective, but he really is like twice the size of everybody else. Hello, he is beautiful. Oh, he's wide and he's thick. He is just a really good looking goat. He's so pretty. Hi, cuties. You need some fresh ground. Let me get to work. Hello, little one. This is one of Ivy's triplets. She's a cutie. Oh, I came down around the other building and there's a whole pile of baby goats. And his mama stood up. Sorry, Cedar. And a little pile of babies. Oh, those are the bottle-fed boys, so they always are quick to come. Oh, that's all 5 of Tansies. You guys love each other. That's very cute. Did you come up? Go lay down. I don't have milk for you right now. Hi, cuties. Hello, babies. So after Monday comes Tuesday, and we had been watching out for one of our goats to give birth. Miss Aspen was due around the 18th, and I think it was the 19th. So that's Tuesday morning. We came down and we were checking on her. We'd been watching her, waiting for her udder to kind of pop out. She's a first freshener, so she's got a little udder anyway. But we were watching to see when she might get ready to go into labor. So Tuesday morning, we noticed that her udder had gotten big and her ligaments were pretty well gone. And so I figured that Tuesday was going to be the day. And in good goat fashion, I had one errand to run yesterday. And wouldn't you know it, she had her baby while we were gone. So it was later in the afternoon. It was about 2:30 that we left. We got home, I think around 3:30. So we were really only gone about an hour. She probably had that baby like as we left. I don't know how we missed it. Anyway, we got home. She had a baby on the ground, and everything looked good. It was a little chilly yesterday with some wind. It wasn't super cold, but the wind was getting up pretty good. And we come home, and baby is just kind of left by herself. Not left by herself, but she wasn't paying a ton of attention to baby. So, and we had friends over, which is exciting. You know, we've got a new goat on the ground. So we go over, we take a look at her. I just have a little bit of footage of coming up, and I remember distinctly, I went to look at her to see if it was a boy or a girl, and I lifted up her tail, and my first thought was like, why do you look funny? I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a girl. You look funny. And so then I set it down, and then I'm like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was a boy. So I look again, and it was a girl. And still just kind of like, that's weird, but no, it's definitely a girl. So she's out there. Mama is still not actively licking her. Like, she'll lick her a few times, but then leave her. And it's getting cold, and I don't know how long she's been out. I'm not quite sure if mom had passed the placenta yet or not. At this point now I realize that she had already, but we didn't see any sign of it. So she'd already passed the placenta and taken care of it. And so I was concerned that baby was cold, especially on the back of these sheep getting super cold. So the first thought is like, all right, I'll bring them down to the barn. So we got mama and baby in barn, and I have some footage of them in the barn. And the dog is going crazy at the neighbor dogs. River, it's okay. It's okay. Neighbor dogs are tough with a livestock guardian dog. She's supposed to guard us, but they live there. So it's this fun balance of please don't bark at them every time. She actually is very, very good at that. She just got a little riled up right now. But so they're in the barn. My friend is here. And I'm like, all right, let me take her temperature. Then I will know if I need to go very intentionally dry her out, because she's still pretty wet at this point too. And I get the thermometer and I go, and I can't find the rectum. You know, you take a rectal temperature. And then it's just, you know, it was a little stressful. There was a lot going on. I'm just thinking, okay, whatever, maybe I'm crazy. So I get a towel. I wrap the baby in a towel, hand it to my friend so she doesn't get, you know, birth stuff all over her. I don't think that's River barking. I think that's the other dog. River, it's okay. Hey girl, yes, it's okay. I don't think that was actually her. Sorry for the interruptions. I give the baby to my friend in a towel. She's holding the baby up, and then we both look again. She's familiar with anatomy. I'm familiar with anatomy, and we're looking, and this little baby doe was not born with an anus, with a rectum. It's the most bizarre, craziest thing. I thought I was crazy. So then I borrowed her phone. I did a quick Google search. Surely that's not a thing. But it is. It is. So a genetic defect. Something happened in the formation of the digestive tract, and it led to a baby that was not fully formed. In every other way, she looked totally normal. She was behaving a little off, but honestly I just thought that was because she was getting a little cold, and her mom was not taking care of her. But yeah, she was born incomplete, and obviously that is incompatible with continuing to live. You cannot live without your digestive tract, and I did confirm with a vet that really is a thing, and that unfortunately the only thing you can do is to put her down. So a hard weekend just got worse. Now we have to take care of this little doeling and not let her suffer. Keeping her alive was not an option, and so we did. My friend helped me get her on Mama and get some colostrum, so at least she could maybe warm up a little bit. It was going to be an hour or two before my husband got home, so he definitely wins those jobs. And then we just kind of waited. So that evening my husband got home and he took care of it. We did make sure that the mama was able to go smell the baby after she had passed to kind of help with that closure. She has called for a baby a few times. She definitely is kind of missing a baby, but we did let her sniff and smell the baby after it was dead, just to give her that closure. I found that is far kinder than the mom is not looking and searching and wondering where she is. Same with the lamb. When the lamb passed away, we brought the lamb back to Mama, and then she stopped calling. She had been calling for the baby, and we brought it back to the herd, let everybody sniff that baby, and removed it later, and that worked really well. So that's a hard thing as farmers too. But I just am so grateful for a husband who can come home and that's the first thing up on his list of things to do. We did it the fastest, kindest, most humane way we could figure out how to do that. And my husband said to me, Damien said, he said, we signed up for all of this, not just half of it. And I'm just so grateful for him and for that. And isn't that so true? If we sign up for this, for the joy and the blessings of the babies and the goods they provide us, whether that's meat or milk or just fun, we so value our animals and are so grateful for them. But that means we have to do the hard things too. And so it's one of those things that you'd say, I can't do that. And I can't, but I must. And so I'm thankful for my husband. If he wasn't around, I would have had to do it, and I would have. But I'm so grateful for him. But doing hard things and our kids seeing that, one kid chose to be nearby, other kids did not. And they're pretty well accustomed to loss. This is the first time we have ever lost baby animals, lamb and a goat kid back to back. And that's been harder. The normal chickens were kind of, par for the course. Everybody loves chicken, and they're hard to deal with. And when we're processing animals, we're respectful. And again, the kids can either be there or not be there, participate, whatever they choose to do. But they do understand that that's just a part of life. If you have life, you have death. And I got a good chance to talk to one of my kiddos who said, it wasn't that hard. And I just talked about, it, or he said, it doesn't really bother me. And I just talked about, it's okay that it doesn't bother, it should be hard to do, because we talked about it would have been much harder if we'd been the one doing it. It should be very hard to do. It should mean a lot. But on the other hand, it shouldn't be traumatizing. There is life and there is death, and we have to deal with that. And that was the kindest thing we could have done for that baby. Letting her live would have been no service. It would have been cruel and torture to not be able to eat or and pass anything. So that was a lot of talking. I apologize for the talking head, but that's just the week it's been. I didn't want to show a ton of footage. I didn't even take a ton of footage about the different parts. One, I was too busy working, trying to save the lambs and trying to work on that. And two, we don't need to see it. That's fine. But I guess I just wanted to encourage you. After a hard week, I want to encourage you. It's still worth it. It's still worth it. It's not easy. but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. And so if you are in a rough spot, if you've got a lot going on, even if it's not homesteading stuff, if it's just life stuff, know that God is there in the good and the bad. He watches over the details. He cares for these animals more than we do. He cares for us. God loves us even when we don't deserve it. And well, we've never deserved it. God loves us anyway. And I'm just so thankful for that. And this life and death process, I can see glimpses of that and God's faithfulness. And so may you be encouraged at the end of a hard video that it's all right. It's all right. God will take care of it. It's okay for there to be sad times and for there to be joy. There is new life. The little ram lamb is new, and that little ewe lamb is living. And we have 9 healthy baby goats who are running around and getting huge and adorable. So thanks for watching. We appreciate you. And hopefully next week will be a lot better. We should be checking in with River. She turned 2. And so we will be checking in on her training and how she's doing. And we hope you'll come back and join us. Thanks for watching.